Hey everybody, I am Howard and this is Otter's Retirement Corner. Oh wait, apparently that's Otter's Retirement Corner right there. Anyway, first an announcement. As many of you know, I put out a video a while back about um, erasing or deleting comments or banning people. And I'm still not going to do that. There is one exception that came up. Hopefully you agree with this. The scam messages, comments you see on almost everybody's site about, hey, I make $27,000 a week with a $10,000 investment, and then they'll pretend to be other people and name some advisor, and hey, this is great, blah, blah, blah. Those are scams. I don't see any need to keep those on, so I've been erasing them. If you disagree with that, let me know. I really don't see the point of keeping those on there. It hurts my algorithm because I take away messages, comments, and I think comments build up your algorithm. I don't know. While we're on the topic, please subscribe, like, comment. All right, so is the economy good or is the economy bad? And the reason I bring this up is, I read a lot of online financial authors, information articles, YouTubers. I do Yahoo Finance a lot, and I read the comments. And inevitably, when the economy comes up, the comments will be overwhelmingly negative about how awful the economy is. And I know some of it, a great deal of it is probably political. Who's ever in office, the people who support the other party will typically, downplay anything good about the economy, or the reports are made up, or they're obviously they're obviously fixed for that party. I don't believe any of that. Um, the same people who do the economic reports and gather the information for Biden administration did it for the Trump administration and the Obama administration. Going back, they don't change when the administrations change. So I don't give that any credence. So anyway, the comments are just really bad, and I get some of that. A lot of what I read are people who comment about how poor they are. They're on SSDI or SSI, or they get very little in Social Security, retirement benefits. Um, and obviously inflation is probably the overriding factor. But let's look at it more statistically for now. There's five good leading economic indicators. You got the purchasing managers index, which was up to 51 in November. Which anything over 50 is expansion. It's not great, but it's okay. Um, it points. What they say is it points to GDP growth of 1.5%. So it's okay. It's kind of tepid. And I'm not going to go into what each one of these are. If you want to know, put that in the comments. Ask me about it. We can talk about it in a little more detail. Durable good orders are up 5.4%. That's a real good number. Jobless claims are at 202,000 for the last week. They averaged 366,000 between 1967 and 2024. We've been down below 250 for years now. There's no great layoff trend. There's no great release of employees. You hear that there are, but there are not. The other one is the yield curve. The yield curve, I'm not going to get into the description of that, but basically, short-term bonds have higher rates than long-term bonds, so the curve goes down. Typically, it goes up. That's been a really okay indicator of recessions in the past, but it's been that way for a couple of years now, and where's the recession? So take that for what it is. Um, and all those reports I just named, most people don't look for, they don't read, they don't hear about, so they're not hearing the good news. Um, Interestingly, the Consumer Confidence Index, which is another leading economic indicator, was up to 110.7 in December from 101 in November. It's a huge jump. Suddenly in December, people got more confident, although it didn't change the comments I read. So who's ever answering those surveys aren't the same people who are putting their comments in Yahoo or YouTube or any other site. So I think the two that are the most common that people understand and hear are the jobs report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and those have been generally pretty good for quite a while now. Ever since we started coming out of the COVID recession. We continue to add jobs. Anywhere from 200,000 neighborhood up and down. And that's been for a long time. So unemployment extremely low. It's below 4%. That's a really good number. Inflation is probably the overriding factor that makes people depressed or negative about the economy. Core inflation is still around 4%. It's still kind of high. It's not 9% like it was, so it has come down. I'm not saying prices have come down. The rate of inflation has come down, and people often confuse those things. So when I say inflation has come down, don't comment, hey, prices haven't come down. There are a few prices that have, but core inflation, which takes out fuel and food, and the one the Fed looks at mostly, is still pretty high. So what you hear is rather than these statistics, is typically what we would call anecdotal evidence. It's not statistically valid, but this is what drives people's feelings and sentiments and emotions. So, things like, when they go to the stores, are they filled? Are the aisles empty? What I see, the stores are always full. I hate going to the stores. They're always crowded. The parking lot's always crowded and hard to find parking. And that just may be where I am, and where you are is completely different. Is traffic heavy? Yeah, traffic's always heavy. If there was a recession, you'd see less traffic. That's kind of simple. Do you know people who are out of work? If there's several people or if you work for a company that's laid off for a lot of people, you may think the economy's bad. People in poverty. Are there a lot of people poor that or have become poor, got laid off, and went through their benefits, and now they're struggling? That will make you think the economy is bad. Do you know homeless people? Do you know of homeless people? Do you see a lot of homeless people? San Francisco's in the news all the time about the homeless people. I lived in that area a few years back. Saw homeless people. You tend to see more homeless people where they're more welcoming to homeless people. Some cities and towns chase out the homeless people, and then they go and gather where people are more friendly to them, and they're more accepting, and they're allowed to be. But there's a homelessness problem in the U.S. The statistic I have here is homelessness was up 12% in 2023 to a count of 653,000. Nobody knows the exact count, but there's people who do surveys. But the point is, homelessness is up, and you see a lot of homeless people. You think the economy is bad. If you're a homeless person, you know the economy is bad for you. So the number one indicator of the health of the economy is GDP growth. And in the third quarter of 2023, the last quarter for which we have statistics, it was up 4.9%, which is pretty good growth. So if you were to look at that number and say, there's nothing wrong with the economy, you would be justified in saying that just based upon that. Now, that doesn't mean everyone is doing well. Clearly, people who comment about how poor the economy is, if it's not for political reasons, are suffering. People live paycheck to paycheck, and inflation is hurting them. No matter what these other statistics show or where the economy is growing, if they're not getting wage gains and prices are going up, they're hurt. Now, if you look at retirees, we get Social Security COLAs. They probably don't match inflation. It depends what you spend your money on. So you can say the economy's bad, unless you have enough money in savings that you could overcome inflation, and you have investments and the stock market's doing well. And don't confuse it. The stock market is not the economy. There's times the economy will do extremely poorly and the market will do well, and vice versa. The market's not the economy. I think in general, the economy is okay. On a 1 to 10, I'd say it's a 6. If we got inflation down, we could be a 7. If GDP, growth stays where it is, we're a 7 or an 8. But tell me what you think. Tell me what you're seeing where you are. How is the economy for you? Do you know these statistics? Give me your comments. Give me your questions. Would love to hear that. Would love to get a better feel of what people think about the economy. And again, subscribe, like, share, and we'll see you next time. Bye.